Hello and welcome back to the Squid Squad. Here I'm doing another review. This time it is for Warlock's Tiles. This one is I believe Dungeon Tiles 1. This, if you don't know, they're basically terrain pieces to be used in games such as Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. This one is obviously the dungeon variant. I'll just take this off so you can have a look there. It comes with quite a few pieces. It comes with reversible flooring, so you can actually have it either wood or stone, which gives it a bit more sort of utility use in your games. But yeah, let's just open up this box. It comes in a very nice box here with plenty inside. So it comes with a little brochure that tells you sort of some other products. I'm sure I'll get around to reviewing them at some point. With also sort of how the Warlock clips themselves work and how the pieces work. But yeah, so it comes with two of these large tiles, which obviously I've flipped over into wood. And as you can see that each one is a certain sort of generic Dungeons and Dragons Pathfinder size for a tile. So they're pretty much designed for games like D&D, to be used in combat encounters, that sort of thing. I'll just put them over there. It comes with all of these, which are smaller floor pieces, which obviously are also reversible. There's I forget exactly how many, it probably tells me on the back of here. I believe it says 26 of those. I'd have to count them individually, but you can see there's quite a few. And these are actually exactly the same as the ones that are in the Towns and Village set one. I've seen some people say, well, the set doesn't come with enough flooring. I find that I've run out of flooring. Well, if you get both sets, you actually get enough floors to last you for quite a while. If you really need some, you can fork out the money to get another set. But I think as long as you get a set of each, you're generally okay. I'm hoping there's going to be more expansions for specifically the walls. So as you can see, that's one of the walls. The clips go in there. I'll show you some examples of how they clip onto the pieces in a second. But there's quite a few of the walls. Around about, it says 18 2-inch straight stone walls. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, that's good news. So there's a decent amount of these walls, and you'd think 18, is that enough? But obviously when you're making a building, you've got little bits of corners and such like that. So these work in conjunction with these corners. So you've got some sort of inner corners where the clips go sort of into the corner like that, and then you've also, let me just remove them, there's 5 of those, and then there's 5 of these outer ones. So obviously you can have it set like that, and then you can have a wall go like that, or just another corner like so. So you can use these corners take up as much space as effectively 2 of these. There are some sort of size differences, so that one obviously fits over there, but then the other one doesn't quite fit over there, so you do have to play around with your dungeon while you're building it to try and get it to fit correctly. But yeah, there's another 5 of those in this set. Let me just put them back in there so they're out of the way. You've seen them. There's these little sort of columns, there's about I'd say 8 of them. And what they do is, if you've got like a corner that that's just a bit open, you can just fit that in there, and it just adds just a little bit more distance, so it just covers it up a little bit nicer. And then you've also got these double doors, which these ones open up, and obviously as you can see they would clip in there, and they're basically like a sort of entrance into the dungeon one. There's 3 of these bigger double doors. Sorry, 4. There's 4 of these. and they all sort of open up like that. Let's keep that over there. And then, as you probably saw, you saw these ones. What these do is when you have two pieces, and you've tiled them together, rather than having one of these big walls, you get quite a few of these smaller walls, and you can just slip the wall in like that. Or what these ones do is they also slip in there like that. But it acts like it's a door. The only problem is with this one is the door isn't actually functional, but it's mainly so you can see that there's a door there. Your characters know that there's a door there, and you just have to remember that the door is either open or closed within the game. It's not that big of a deal. So those are your little sort of inside walls, which are quite interesting. You only get 2 of these, and I've probably got to say there's probably around about 16 or so of those. Like I say, it tells you on the back of the box exactly what's in there. But you also get 4 of these other doors, similar to the bigger double doors. These ones do open up, but again they're mainly used for sort of like for clipping in and using them to go into the dungeon itself. So you can use them like that if you wish. But that's pretty much everything in this set. There's these clips, there's these other clips and some outer edges, so you can clip the outer edges sort of along there if you've got an exposed piece. I haven't used those yet, so I'm going to keep that in there. What I'm going to do now is use the pieces to build up, a decent sized dungeon of everything that I've got in here, nothing more, just so you can get an idea, of what you're purchasing basically. Obviously, like I said, you can use all of this in conjunction with any of the other Warlock sets. At the moment, the current ones that are out are this one and the Towns and Villages set. There's a few expansions, such as like the summoning circles and like ladders and stairs and stuff like that. And when I have the ladders and stairs, and I'll do a review on them later. But once I get the summoning tiles, I'll also do a review on them. But yeah, so I'm going to get to the part where I build up a little dungeon for you guys to just have a look at, and I'll put in some minis just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. And I'll see you in a minute. So here we are, we're back. I've created a nice little small dungeon with quite a few of the pieces. If you can look over here, I've still got a sizable amount of sort of walls left. I've got a decent number of these floors left. And what I actually didn't show you before is that they do actually supply you with these 2 long ones, which would have been perfect for there really, rather than using the individual ones. So you could use them and have loads more of these left. But I've also got one of those left over, the bigger ones, and I've got quite a few of these indoor walls left over as well. And also a lot of those, I've only used one of them where I've used like all of the outer ones, corners. So, but whereas before, I've built a dungeon before and I've used all of those and needed more of them, but didn't really use many of the outer corner ones. So it just depends on the level of complexity in your dungeon. But yeah, so as you can see, I've got a little sort of entrance doorway here. I've put the inside walls here. So you come in and all you see is this wall. So they have to, they'll have to manoeuvre around. There's a door in there, so you can take the miniatures off the table, so they just see an empty dungeon, or you can put a piece of cardboard over it. There's a few different ways if you're running a dungeon in a D&D like game, you know how to run a dungeon like that. Obviously, you've got all the adequate squares for have your miniatures on there to do a game of D&D or Pathfinder or whatever kind of game system you want, and the squares are there. So I'm quite proud and happy with how these come together. Like I say, you can just slip out that out. So if it ends up, you open the wall, open the door, you can either just take the door out so it's open, or you can leave it in there but have people remember that it's in there. When it's all tight together, you do have to get some sort of stretching of the pieces just to get it to go back in again, but it's not too difficult. Yeah, right. And for as well, what I'd do is I'd quickly show you how the tiles, these clips work. So what you do is you have to clip it in like that. It's literally just, it's not too difficult to get it into the first section. You can see that it's still not fully clipped in. And what you tend to do is you can clip it in there for the first bit and it's not too difficult, but you do have to give it some pushing, some amount of force to get it in. And what I also suggest from what I've seen online is wiggle it while you're pushing it. So if you wiggle it and then it goes in, and then there you go, you've got a wall. Obviously the bigger the dungeon, the harder it is to sort of slot everything together. But you know, it's not too bad. There you are. What you could also put there, which I haven't used, is one of these, because you know, if you run out of the corners, you can still make the corners, and then you just put one of those at the end, and it sort of makes it look like it's a nice flush corner, rather than having, you know, the whole thing just sort of open like that. It doesn't look very nice, so it's nice that they put these in there. But yeah, so I'm quite happy with the set. I think it's very good. They have announced, and I believe it's coming out this month, a new set with full walls. So it's like the walls come up to more like that height, or that high I suppose. But they're obviously more money because it's more plastic effectively. So I'm quite happy with the half height. Depends on what you're, you know, what you kind of like. Do you want it to be more immersive, where the walls are, you know, quite high up and you can't just look over the walls? I like to just, you know, it's cheaper for this one by probably around about 30 quid per set, I'd say, something like that. But you know, you're effectively getting the same stuff, but the walls are taller. So it's up to you on what your preference is. But yeah, I've got a few more reviews coming your way with the Warlock tiles. I've got the Towns and Villages set. I've also got the Stairs and Ladders expansion pack that I'll be doing a review on. And when I get the other expansions in and other bits, I'll do a review on them as well. So thank you very much for watching. You know, come by for some more videos. We've got video game streams going up on the channel, and hopefully, like I say, more reviews. Yeah, so hope you come by. Have a good day. Bye bye now.